I don't know what it is.
Sorry, I'm just gonna start recording.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry, I've been posting. I should be posting too, but I'm just like haven't gotten around to it. Anyway, keep
Oh no,
going.
it's okay. I was just gonna say, like, yeah. So I was watching the Utah Utes Football Digest, and I was just like, they're talking about how uh all these players they just hit the transfer portal for better plans to I don't know. It's always shocked me about the wide receiver position that we've had at Utah
Mhm.
because we've had some really good wide receivers in the past, like Steve Smith Sr., Dres Anderson, Paris Warren, and all those receivers. But it's been so long, and I'm just really there hasn't been really 1,000 yard receiver that
Mhm.
and I'm just hoping that we could hit with one, maybe throw some money. Um,
Oh yeah, that's
um,
true.
my buddy just texted me saying
Hmm.
he's studying right now,
Okay.
um, but he'll join if he can.
Mhm. Cool.
Um, yeah, but the receivers, it's just been. I just feel like that's the only really big part of our offense that's been lacking lately.
Hmm.
Like
I mean, this year,
they.
this year is I feel like we finally, like by game six, we finally like hit Vele, and we're like, oh, we can
Yeah,
actually throw the
yeah,
ball. But like, we
yeah.
didn't use any tight ends. Like compared to the last 2 years, from the 2021 and 2022, we just threw to Kincaid and Kiki and Yasmin. Like it was just tight end. I mean, granted, I know like we don't have any tight ends right now, but at least could have tried with who we do have. But no, I agree though too. It's like we do need a receiver. Like I think Utah's just such a run heavy team that's it's frustrating
Mm-hmm.
because we just get so predictable. It's just like, oh, we're gonna run
Mm.
the ball here, inside zone. There we go.
Yep.
Every play. It's I don't know. Just gets a little frustrating.
Yeah,
But
and the receipt, and I feel they were talking about a couple of receivers, a couple of tight ends, and there's one receiver that's been standing out to me that he actually entered the portal like a couple of days ago, Julian Fleming from Ohio State, because Ohio State always has really good receivers, and I
right.
just think it'd be cool. Think it'd be awesome to land one of those receivers to come to Utah. I mean, I doubt that it would happen, but if you paid him maybe 4 million or something, because that's the name of the game now is money. So, if you paid him that money and said, hey, well, here 4 million on the table, come play Utah, see what our offense can do, then I feel like we could open up the playbook a little bit more
Oh yeah.
instead of so we get all these good receivers that and I even saw a video of of uh, Sydney and Banasor, who's one of our receivers, is on the depth chart. Uh, in It was like a practice. They were just doing practice one on one with somebody, and he just goes up and mosses somebody in practice.
Huh.
And I'm just like, why don't we do that in game though?
Right.
You throw it in practice is one thing, but we don't do that. So you practice for all that, but you don't even try to do that in the game. I don't get it. I've never understood that. So, and I get it. We had a lot of injuries this year, but even when we had Cam,
Right.
we still just didn't air it out. Like
I mean,
we take deep shots.
which is true. But it's funny because I don't know. So you remember last year? Was it last year? No, it's 2 years ago, I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
2 years ago at USC, right before halftime. Cam gets a play wrong. He does a flea
Yep.
flicker,
Yep.
and it's a
Just throws it to
touchdown.
Bailey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like Cam
Where
calls the
has that
wrong
been? Yeah.
play, but we get
Yeah.
a touchdown from it. It's like, why
Yeah.
haven't we been doing this stuff? Like,
Yeah.
I think
True.
he was probably just gonna throw a little 10 yard pass for with 2 seconds left in the half and be like, okay, that's halftime. Like, glad he
Yeah.
called a flea flicker. So it's true. It's like things
Hmm.
like that. It's like, why don't we like? I
Yeah.
think
And even
no.
even when we had Aaron Roderick as our OC that one year, even though he got, I really thought he was a decent OC with
Mhm.
Travis Wilson, and
He
that
was.
we even had our backup quarterback out there, Thompson or something,
Yeah.
whoever it was, and he was at receiver and just stuff like that. And like I see like BYU doing all these like plays where they throw it to the other receiver, they throw it deep, just kind of trick plays like that. Like we need to go back to the trick play game because
Oh,
it
for
it
sure.
keeps defense it keeps defenses on their heels because you never know what's coming next.
Hmm.
And you see it in the NFL now. I mean, you see a lot of these plays in the NFL now with like the jet sweep, the end arounds, the throw um the throw it deep, or type of thing. And it's just like, if we really want to beat like Ohio State and all these teams, and or in the Big 12 actually beat like TCU and all these teams, we're gonna have to air it out more. You know,
No, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be able to adjust to uh just because it worked for us in the Pac-12 era. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work in the Big 12.
No, yeah.
I mean, just saying, like that's just how I feel. But yeah,
No, sure. We definitely need to air it out more. Like we just need more trick plays. And I like the only trick play I can think of is I think Florida, where we threw the ball to one of our receivers, and then we had another receiver kind of going like down on the side, and then he threw it across, and we just barely missed it. That was the
yeah,
only trick play I can remember the
that's the
whole
only
year.
trick play. Yep.
Hey,
So
I just joined in.
yeah, hey, good man. But I don't
So
know. I mean, so losing Mikey Matthews, it's true. It was just I mean, we'll see if we lose him. Like, hopefully, no one takes him because it's like I said with Bernard, he entered the transfer portal, and no one took
came
him.
back. Yeah.
He came back. So
Yeah, the Mikey Matthews news that came out of left field for me. I didn't because I think like 2 weeks ago he was on Bill Riley show saying like how he excited for Cam to come back and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it's like that came out of left field. I don't know. It's like because he's getting enough playing time.
yeah, he's getting
He's
playing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
So
don't. Yeah, like you said, I'm a Kai Bernard entered the portal and came back in. We also had another receiver, Jalen Dixon, when he was at
Yeah.
Utah. He entered the portal and then came back. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Like,
I was talking to my buddy Tango about this earlier. I said the exact same thing. I was just saying to Swanson, David,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's your name. Sorry.
you're good, man.
uh, I go, transfer portal has ruined football. All these players should have I was just kind of venting because I was like, I, I liked Mikey Matthews. He was just so good at catching even in the tight windows. There was this
Hmm.
one play where uh, Bryson Barnes or whoever it was threw it,
Yep,
and it looked like it would have
Bryson.
been picked off,
Yeah, that
but
was the
he caught it,
that was
and
the
I was like,
Oregon
wow,
game.
that's a tight window.
yeah, that was the. I think that was the Oregon game
I
where we
think it
had
was Oregon.
yeah, it was right before half. We had like that really good drive that we should have gotten a touchdown on. It was like we
Yeah,
were moving the ball and
yeah. I remember looking at
Yeah,
that being like that did not get picked off. Like, oh my goodness, such a scary throw.
yeah.
uh,
Anyways, I said transfer portal has ruined football. All these players should have their scholarships. I was taken away if they're just going to keep jumping in and abusing the portal,
Mhm.
especially the ones that are getting playing time, like Mikey Matthews, who's a true freshman who probably would have gotten more playing time next season if he didn't hit the portal for
Mhm.
money. Man, people are greedy nowadays. And he goes, nah, players are smart. They deserve to get paid. Why wait till the pros if they can get paid now? And I was like, I didn't really think about that. So I was like, yeah, true. But the ones that are getting playing time, it's weird why they also would leave when a kid gets offered a brand new truck. Like, and then he goes, because there's more money to be made. And he goes, "Why would I stay at a school that's only paying me 100,000 when I can make 200 to 300,000 elsewhere? It's just the version of the NFL now." Yeah, I guess that's true. And he goes, "I see nothing wrong with what they're doing. Everyone made because these boys don't have to be slaves anymore, and that they can use their brand and likeliness to make a living. Shoot, some of these boys might not want to play in the NFL, so why not milk this cow as long as you can until you're done? Yeah, I just don't know why it's took so long for the NIL to come around. Makes sense to me just because they didn't want to give up no money, and now they have more power for the players. So yeah,
That's a Mikey Matthews interview.
what?
Is that an interview with Mikey Matthews?
No. So that was Tanguarius Towns, who used to play for the U. I kind of text him because I have his number, and I text him the link to see if he wanted to join, of course. But I was just kind of talking to him about how these players have just. I just felt like they were. I guess I was just looking at it weird about like, because from a fan perspective, it sucks, but from a player perspective, I can see why they would hit the portal and go somewhere else. Because you get so used to seeing these players, and then they're like, "Well, I'm leaving," yada yada yada. Now I'm gonna go to a different team and make more money. So that's why I was saying that.
Yeah, like another perspective, like we don't know the whole reason with the Mikey Matthews situation, but heard some guy say because he's from California, and starting next year, since Utah's not going to be playing in Southern California anymore, with teams going to the Big Ten and the Pac-12 dissolving, we're going to be playing teams more like in Texas and like Kansas and West Virginia and all that stuff. I mean, that could be a reason. Like, oh, like I have family, I'm not going to be able to see my games too much. I want them to be able to see my games or something like that. That could be a reason. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. It's true. Transfer portal is crazy. And like the sad thing is as well, like Oklahoma, right? The Oklahoma quarterback,
Yeah.
he's starting for Oklahoma and now he's going to Oregon. And it's like that's insane.
And then the Ohio State quarterback entered the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're
like
starting at Ohio State.
He took him to an 11-1 record, but they're beefing on him because he couldn't beat Michigan.
11-1. It's insane.
No, but I just feel like in some schools, if you can't be your rival, you got to go. That's apparently what Ohio State's doing right now. Can't be your rival, you got to go. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get it for the transfer. Like, I mean, Bryson Barnes, he's transferring. That makes sense. Like, because it's like he came to play football, right? And if he can go start at like Utah State or go start somewhere else, it's like, yeah, maybe he's not making any money or something, but at least he's playing football, right?
Yeah.
It's like because he's not the starting. We all know he's not starting next year with Risings. So.
Oh yeah.
Maybe backup. I think that might be Rose and then you got Isaac Wilson coming in the spring.
Yeah,
so
maybe those two are the two backups. I think Rose will probably be second string, and then Isaac Wilson will be third.
Yeah, and I heard Isaac Wilson's probably he said he's getting off-season surgery, so he's going to be with the team during spring, but he won't participate in spring ball because he's recovering from surgery. Yeah. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. So
and they won state this year.
State. Yeah, I did see some of Florida Cannon's games to get a good look at what we're getting. So yeah,
that kid is just so good to watch. I don't know. I've been to good. Like five of his games this year, and just the way he throws the football and the way he could fit it into those tight windows. Like there was like guys could be covered, and he just throws it over the top. And I mean, some of it could be the receiver too, but it's it's just amazing to see how they can make all these amazing catches like that. Like, and he was just balling on everybody. I mean, I ran
which games did you go to?
I went to the let's see, it was
I thought about going to the Bingham one. I think Bingham.
Yeah, I went to the semi-final one. I know that, or the final.
Okay.
At Rice Eccles.
Did they play Lehigh? No,
I think that
they played Skyridge in the championship.
Skyridge, that's
championship,
who it was.
Did they play in the semifinals? America Fork.
I think it was Lehigh. It was Lehigh.
Lehigh. It was Lehigh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Lehigh.
Anyway.
And yeah, he just I mean, he was like the first half he was kind of struggling a little bit, but then he opened it up and then they got going and but it just seemed like yeah, he just like he even ran like a I think it was like an 80 yarder into the end zone. Like I was like, wow, this kid's fast. Like like I was amazed. I was like, holy crap, like he has some wheels. I mean, yeah, he's short and he's 6 foot, like 185, but yeah,
Hmm.
he can definitely hurt some defenses
Yeah,
with his legs.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
excited. Should be good.
I think Kyler Murray like 5'8" or 5'10"?
I think he's 5'9", if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
So yeah.
He's only
Yeah.
5'10" on Call of Duty, man.
He's only 5'10" and goes, yeah, because I don't think he even I think he's come out and said even like he doesn't even practice. He just kind of or he doesn't there was some crazy thing where he said like I don't know if it was he didn't practice before football games or like something along
There,
the lines of that.
there's a clause they tried to put a clause into his contract when they signed him here that he had to watch so much game tape a week, and he refused to do it. And then they took the clause out and signed him anyway.
Oh wow.
Big mistake, and that's why they're the Cardinals.
Yeah.
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts, Brady? What are your thoughts about the transfer portal?
I just, it sucks. I mean, it's good when it benefits you,
Mhm.
but it's always a bummer. But I mean, like the Bryson Barnes thing, I agree with what you said. Like I told my son like 2 weeks ago, I was surprised he hadn't hit the portal yet, or we hadn't heard anything about him going to hit the portal,
Mhm.
just because the writing's on the wall. So good for him. Good for Nate Johnson. Like happy for guys like that to get a chance. But
But
yeah,
Mikey
that
Matthews, man,
that thing sucks. Yeah, but
we're all talking about that.
I don't know. I think that they didn't get anything out of Pittman, so I think Pittman must have taken a red shirt, right? Because he only played in the Baylor and the Florida game. So if he doesn't hit the portal, which he's been known to do, I mean we're still going to be getting that slot receiver back, so that'll be nice.
And then you
Yeah.
have and then Mekhi Bernard, he's coming back because he only played in the Florida game and then had that accident off the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should be getting most of our starters back, I hope.
I'm hoping to
as long as the portal
hear
vortex doesn't come.
I'm hoping to hear Brent Keithy's eventual coming out, as you will, or how I phrase
NFL,
that
because he
wrong.
could go NFL. He easily could go NFL.
Yeah, and
I think with rising,
there's been a lot of people saying that he's gonna come back, and even my cousin has said like, oh yeah, I have some friends that are like in the program that have told me that I work with that Brent Keithy's coming back. He just has yet to put it out there and say that he's coming back. So we're all just eagerly waiting for that huge Instagram post or Twitter post saying he's coming back. So I mean, but I mean, I'm pretty positive that he'll come back for another year because even right now in like because he didn't play this season, and I'd be very surprised if he went to the NFL unless he knows somebody in the NFL that he could possibly get a roster spot. But I just don't see it. Going to the NFL doesn't make any sense, especially when you're making a lot of money on NIL right now as it is.
No.
So,
That's true.
I think we should start a campaign for him, Stanton. Get him to announce. We'll do a parade for him in downtown Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So we're going to the Vegas Bowl. You guys excited for the Vegas Bowl, or yeah?
Yeah, it's close to home, which is good. But with the announcement of transferring and opting out, it's like it's hard to get excited about sometimes with like transfer portal stuff and players opting out. Like of course, Devon Bailey announced he has intention to go pro. Which at times he's shown like if he's put in the right situation, I think he can be a good NFL wide receiver, like Tim Patrick was. If Tim like how Tim
Yeah.
Patrick was put in the right situation. If Bailey's in the right situation, I think he can be a good NFL receiver. But we'll see. We'll just see who plays with all this craziness going on before practice, because I know the team is practicing for the bowl game, even with everything going on. Just so
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is a lot of these players now, like they don't stay for the bowl games now. It's like they're just like, well, like at least be like, Bryson Barnes. He even said like I'll enter the portal after the bowl game instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna leave and not play in the bowl game. I've never understood that. Even it just sounds weird. Like I get it, you want to go to the NFL, but can you just stick around or stick around for one more game? You know what I mean? Like you're going to a bowl game. But that's how it's always been in football. Is that you play that bowl game and then you get sent off on your way. So I've never understood that logic, but I mean, I guess players are going to do what they're going to do, but
No, I
yeah,
feel like you, Stanton. Like I've always said, like, because I'm a huge NFL fan too, and if my teams are going to go after a player, if they skip the bowl game, it used to be a major red flag for me. Like I wouldn't even want anything to do with them in the draft. Like if you think back, I think like the first guy I remember doing it was Javid Best coming out of Cal. And then he went to the Lions, and I called it. I was like, "The guy skipped the Holiday Bowl. He's going to be a bum," and he was a bum. I don't know, but now it's like it's all the loyalty in sports thing. I think that it's just they're more about themselves than the team anymore. That's what made the Barnes thing so cool to me, because he said he's going to go battle it out one more time. You need people like that. That's just super cool.
Devin Lloyd even said, like, even before the Rose Bowl 2 years ago, that he's going to enter the draft, but he's going to play in the Rose Bowl. Of course, like, I remember Christian McCaffrey did that once when he was with Stanford. Like, he skipped the bowl game. Just like there's a lot of players that are skipping bowl games. It's just like you want like players, just fans, just like they want the players to play, just like help them get the last one of the year. But then if you think about it, like, yeah, those players leave anyway, but some people say, oh, we're going to get a good look at some players for next year or something. Like, there's pros and cons to it, but at the same time, yeah, opt-outs are sometimes not the best.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's like it's your teammates, even if you weren't with all of that team, your whole 4 years you were there, like you should still go finish it out. Every group's different. I don't know, but as far as the game goes, I mean, I don't know how many more times we'll be in the Vegas Bowl going to the Big 12. But we played in a lot of times, and I'm surprised Northwestern's the opponent. That was random because they looked awful to begin the year, but kudos to them for having a good year. But this is also you can get some revenge when we shouldn't have lost to them. What, like 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
We had that game. We had the Holiday Bowl.
Like, luckily, it won't rain indoors. Like unless some massive hole breaks through the ceiling, there should be no rain.
Is it an indoor bowl game?
Yeah, it's at Allegiant Stadium.
Which
that's
we
true.
seem to do well at Allegiant, and that's why it's like, it's like, oh, it's the Vegas Bowl. It's like, no, the Vegas Bowl is much better now. I mean, two things: you're in an NFL stadium, which is awesome. Raiders, like, that's the best. I mean, it's the only stadium I've actually been to. But it's probably one of the best stadiums, I would think, next to like the Cowboy Stadium.
I need to go to a Raiders game. I've never been to an NFL game, but I heard it's fun. NFL. Well, I'm just saying, like, Allegiant itself is what I'm trying to say. But go ahead.
Been the Pac-12. I mean, championships. Obviously, we seem to do well at Allegiant, but then as well, the location, like, it's great. It's close to Salt Lake. Everyone just drives down I-15. Boom, you're there. Because like Alamo Bowl's all the way out in San Antonio, El Paso. Who wants to go to El Paso? Like, it's in the middle of nowhere. No one wants to go there. I mean, it's gonna be a good bowl game, and it's Notre Dame, Oregon State. That should be pretty fun. And then Holiday Bowl's good, but you're not in an NFL stadium. You're San Diego. San Diego's great. I love San Diego. And then then there's the LA Bowl. LA Bowl LA Bowl is good in the sense that, yeah, you're in the Rams Stadium and the Chargers Stadium. But your opponent, I
Mhm.
think, they're playing Boise State, which I mean, Boise State's like they're good,
Decent.
but
Yeah.
but they're a Mountain West team though. It's like I don't want to play a Mountain West conference. Like it's a waste. So anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're
that's my
playing a
thoughts.
Big Ten team. Playing a
Yeah,
Big Ten.
at least we're playing Big Ten, and we're in Vegas, and we
We need to
hopefully should
win
have a good
over a
turnout.
Big Ten team bad.
Oh, we need to win. We need to win. That's where
I believe
Barnes is staying around.
I believe the last Big Ten team we beat was Indiana, and we played Indiana in a bowl game like a few years ago, and we beat them.
That was a great bowl game, actually. That was a really close game.
Yeah, that was
I
like
think
that was,
that
the
was-
Joe, that was the Joe Williams. That was when we had Joe Williams. I think that was the Joe Williams.
Was
game.
that the Foster Farms Bowl? If I can
Yes.
remember. Yeah.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
that was, and then yeah, that was the last Big Ten team we beat. So
Well, it'll be good to go beat Northwestern here and get some revenge. That's for sure. So anyway, let's dive into I don't know. Let's break this one pretty quick. Heisman. What do you guys think about Heisman?
I mean, personally, I think Michael Penix Jr. should win it. I watched the championship game, and he looked like he was destined to win it. I mean, personally, I think the Heisman winner should have been playing in a conference championship game, and probably near six in playoffs. Like people are saying hyping up Jaden Daniels because he had more passing yards than Michael Penix and Bo Nix. But yeah, me personally, I think Penix should win it.
Penix.
I'm deciding between three players because I've been watching a little bit of Ohio State's player Marvin Harrison Jr.
I saw
I
him at the
really
Rose
think
Bowl.
that-
It was good.
And
Yeah,
I really think he deserves the Heisman in my opinion. It's just, he's just one of those really good players. I mean, he's from Ohio State, of course, and they throw the ball to him, and I just feel like anytime you watch him play, he's just really elite. So he's just, and I also like Jaden Daniels too. I think Jaden Daniels deserves the Heisman, but I wouldn't. I'd be fine with Penix too, and I'm rooting for Washington, by the way, to go all the way.
Oh yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
really
I'm a
hoping they go all the
Washington
way.
fan. I want Washington to go all the way now. It'd be so great to have a national champion in the Pac-12,
Mhm.
and then the Pac-12
Yep.
doesn't exist next year. It's like
Exactly.
that's
like-
just like poetic justice. It's so great.
Yeah, it's like you're giving a middle finger to Larry Scott or something.
yeah.
If they do that, it's like screw you. Like
Yeah.
you just denied you just denied a conference. Like we just won a national championship. Now you just blew this up.
Oh yeah. I'm a Washington fan now. That's for sure. What about you, Brady? Who's your Heisman?
I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with Stan on the Jaden Daniels thing. He's a joke, and I've seen him stink the place up down here at Arizona State so many times. I think that's like a popularity or a media anointed. Like I know he's got the yards, but he will never make it in the NFL, and he'll get drafted high and be a bust.
Yeah,
Penix,
and see,
the man.
that's the funny thing too. I just want to mention this real quick. So the Saints, I'm a Saints fan, and a lot of Saints fans want Jaden Daniels to be to get drafted because he's going to LSU now, and I'm just like he's too small. He's 6 foot, or I mean 6'3" it says, but he's lanky, like super lanky. He just doesn't got that build, And I don't know. I just don't want us to make that same mistake we always do with quarterbacks. So Jane Daniels, I mean, I like him as a player because I've seen a little bit of his, LSU, but I don't know. It's 50-50 for me. So
Yeah, I get it, man. I think he has looked. I have watched LSU and have watched him, and I've been surprised that he's looked as much better as he has. But I think he was even garbage last year at LSU. But they lit that dude's locker on fire when he was at ASU to try and get him off the team, and then eventually he did leave the team. They hated him. His teammates hated him. So I think the guy's kind of a jerk. He originally committed to Utah, then decommitted. So there's another red check for me. And I'm going Penix because I think dude can actually throw the ball, and he's a winner.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Penix can actually play in the NFL too. And shout out to Browning from Washington for
Oh
his
yeah,
excellent performance
that was
too.
a good game.
But yeah, we'll go with Penix for Heisman. And I can't remember what award Vaki's up for, but I know that Travis Hunter from Colorado's up for the same award, but I hope Vaki wins that.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope Vaki wins that for sure. For me, I'm Bo Nix. I want Bo Nix to win Heisman. I think that'd be so great if Bo Nix won it. I mean, yes, like he doesn't. I mean, I don't think Oregon's play calling ever really had him throw deep. He threw deep a few times, at least on us, but that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But like he's just quick. He gets the ball, he throws it out. It's quick.
Throws it out
5
quick, yeah.
yard, 10-yard passes. If 10-yard passes, it's really like 5-yard passes every time. And I just like him. I like Bo Nix a lot. It'd be great to see him win, but I mean, I'd take Bo Nix or Penix over Jaden Daniels just because. Yeah, just because it's also Pac-12, and it's just like, yep, please. But anyway, last thing. So we got a few minutes left. Playoffs. Who belongs in the playoff?
It was going
man.
well until they announced Alabama.
Oh yeah.
And then, yeah, it was going well until they announced Alabama. Like, get them out of here. It's like, it was just like, this is SEC. It was SEC favoritism.
Oh, so
Yeah. FSU got robbed. I mean, they could even, when they're even watching the screen to see if they'd make it in, it was just like, I just do not understand who these committee people are, but they are just awful human. Or I'm not saying it like they're awful human beings, but just they're so biased towards conferences, so biased. I'm pretty sure, and I don't know if this is true, but Paul Feinbaum, I'm sure, played a little bit of a role in this.
He did.
Because he's just the most biased human being for college football in general. It's just the SEC this, SEC that. Even if they could go 8-4 and still make the playoffs, because it's just like, come on, man, make it fair for every team. You got a 13-0 team, and you put 11 or a 12-1 team over
two 12-1 teams too. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Ron DeSantis actually came out and said something about FSU maybe suing the college football playoff committee. They should, because I feel like a lot of teams feel the same way. Like that some years. Like I wish 2008 Utah would have done that. And,
goodness. We should have.
Yeah, like,
it's just.
We're national champs. We're national
I'd
champs.
say the same thing. Yeah, I'd say the same thing for 2004 and 2008. Well, 2004 was like, it was like there's 200 undefeated teams, but I think that 04 Utes could have given that USC team that won the Natty that year a fight.
Oh yeah.
And even probably better than Oklahoma did that year. And then 08, I thought, Utah beat Alabama. Like, let's see. I want to see how they do against Tim Tebow in Florida that year.
Yeah.
After the 08 Utes matchup, it was just because of conference affiliation at the time. It's like, jeez.
And we could have. I mean, at the same time, they could have made the Peach Bowl or the Orange, whatever. Where is it? Florida State's playing Georgia. That could have just been a bowl game right there, and it's been like, okay, Washington and Michigan just stay out of the game. Like, quick fix, boom, right?
Yep.
But whatever.
I think that they made this decision and were comfortable with it, even knowing they were going to take backlash.
Because it's Alabama.
It's a 12-game playoff in their back pocket, and they're going to screw the fans one more time and be like, "Here, we gave you all what you wanted. We gave you the 12 games," thinking that everyone's going to forget. But obviously, nobody on this call's forgotten. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, and Florida State should be mad. That's absolute BS.
Oh yeah, Florida State. I hope they beat Georgia. That'd be great if they beat Georgia. So.
Someone came at me the other day and said something about, "Oh, it's the ACC. It doesn't matter." And I said, "Really? If it was Clemson, would it matter?" It would. Yep.
Ben.
Yep.
So I'll give you my take on my playoffs. I'm going to take Michigan over Alabama. I'm glad no one said Milrose. Sorry, Butts name for Heisman, because I think Milrose sucks. But I hope Coach Harbaugh comes back and wins. And I'm definitely taking Washington because I don't think Texas is all that great. I'm
Yep.
taking Washington to win the whole thing. And by the way, if
Same.
you haven't bet or you want to bet, right now I just laid down $100